I want y'all, every time you grab this ball, I want you to grab this ball and go, opportunity, right? Every time you lace them up, I want you to lace them up and go, this ain't just about a game. This is about opportunity. And each generation, if you pay attention, Martin Luther King, you pay Medgar Evers, you pay attention, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, each one of them allowed us to go a little bit further. Like, I make over $100,000 to talk for an hour. You don't think Martin Luther King could have been doing this? It's just that I was born in 1970, and so internet came out the late 90s, early 2000s, and so I was blessed because of that. So number one, everybody say it with me, opportunity. Come on, opportunity. Come on, say it like you mean it, opportunity. I will not, come on, say it, I will not destroy or mess up this opportunity. Because y'all got to understand something. You know what I'm saying? You know, CP3 been in the league for a long time. There are a lot of people that's been given opportunity. They lost it all. So don't think once you get opportunity, like it's yours forever. It's not. When you get an opportunity, you got to steward that opportunity. Like, okay, so I don't know, but he gave 110, 15, 12. All right. And the one he gave 10 took care of the 10 and he gave him more. The one he gave 5 took care of the 5 and he gave him more. The one with 2 did not take care of the 2. So he took the 2 from him and gave it to the one that had 10. Listen to me very closely. This is a phenomenal opportunity. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, your whole family can be set straight if you take advantage of this opportunity. On 3, opportunity. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on, 1, 2, 3. Opportunity. Say it with me. I will not destroy this opportunity. Come on, I will not destroy this opportunity. Now, I got to tell y'all this. There are some jealous, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but there's some jealous folks other places thinking they should have been at this camp. Like flat out, don't get it twisted. Like it's some folks sitting here going, why didn't I get invited? Why didn't I get that opportunity? And so while you were here like geeked up because you got the opportunity, right? There's somebody looking at it like, yo, I didn't get it. And I promise you, like, yo, I didn't get it, but I'm going to show you in college. I'm going to show you in the pros. I should have got that opportunity. So I just want y'all to understand something. Like this is something unique and this is something special. Does that make sense? All right, let's go. Last year, I got a call from the 49ers, right? 3 things I want to give y'all. So the 49ers called me, and when they called me, it was December 8th that I went to San Fran. On December 6th, they were 6-6. 17 games, 6-6, right? So they brought me in and was like, yo, E, if we gonna make the playoffs, we got to win at least 4 or 5. We got 5 more games. We got to win 4 or 5 games, right? So I'm in there talking to the dudes, and I'm like, look, let's just be real. The reality is not that you don't have the talent. Like you in the league, bro. All y'all sitting in here, y'all 1%ers. Like it is what it is. Y'all can run just as fast. You can catch, you can throw, you can tackle. I said, here's the problem. Y'all 6-6, not because y'all don't have phenomenal skill. The problem is you got average will, right? Make sure you write that down. It's 2 things you need to do to take advantage of this opportunity and be a dog. You need phenomenal skill and you need phenomenal will. You need both, right? Now look, the first one, God gave it to you. So if you 6'6", right, you can jump, you can run, you can defend. Look, 6'6" is a God-given opportunity. Like you didn't make yourself 6'6". That's what God gave you. That's phenomenal skill. But to make it in this league or to get to the league, I'm telling you, you got to have phenomenal will. Now, sometimes, all right, my sister get mad at me, but my middle sister went to Michigan. All right, she had phenomenal skill. Academically, the girl was tough. She went to school as an engineer. I tell my little sister all the time, like, yo, you were smarter than me. Like, you know, I love you. I worship the ground you walk on. But because you had phenomenal skill, sometimes you didn't necessarily have that will. You didn't have that dog, right? And I wasn't smart as you, but I passed you up. Why? Because I had that dog. I had that will. I had that determination. I don't care that I can't read or write. Like I failed English twice in college. I still got a 4-year degree. Took me 12 years, but that dog, that will. I said, if God gave me the ability to get up, yep, it might take me 5 days to do what it take you to do in 1 day, but I'm gonna do it in 5. It may take me 4 weeks to read a book that you can read in a week, but I got that dog. And guess what happens? If you don't have phenomenal skill, but you got phenomenal will, you can make up for skill. All right, I want y'all to know that. So number one, you need two things. You need phenomenal skill, but you also need phenomenal will, right? That's important. So the 12-year, 4-year degree took me 12, turned into the master's, which turned into a PhD. Somebody say, bro, if you fail English and all master's and PhD is reading, how did you do it? I walked that joker down. I walked it down. No TV. All right, put that down because you're going to catch that. Sacrifice. No TV. Look, I'm going to be real with y'all. Like, and I just started catching up, right? I literally missed Friday, next Friday. I missed everything. Like all the black TV stuff, I missed it. Boomerang, I missed everything. Like my boy's like, how you black and you ain't never seen Fridays before? Like, how you black? I was like, bruh, I went in the dark, y'all. I went in the dark for 10 years. I ain't watched no TV. I ain't listened to no music. All I know at that time, I just knew like Biggie's hottest stuff or Pac's hottest stuff. I didn't know the songs that was on the album. I sacrificed like 10 years to catch up with everybody else. Like for real, ADHD. I had a learning disability when I was younger. Like I overcame all of that with that dog. I overcame all of that with Will. So I cut the TV off. I cut off intramural sports. I cut off everything. Other than church, I cut it off. Other than God, I cut it off. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning praying, and after that, I'm reading, I'm studying. Look, I was 24 years old. I bought a dictionary. I bought a thesaurus, and I was learning words. Listen to me very closely. Two things, skill and will. And I told them boys at the 49ers, I said, listen to me. Y'all got to win at least 4 out of these 5 games. I know y'all got it, but you lost that dog. And let me tell you why you lost the dog. And I said, let's go outside and look at these cards. Flat out. I'm like, let's go look at these cards. You lost your dog. You lost that fight. Why? Because you just prayed for a car and you got it. You just prayed to make millions and you got it. You just wanted your mom in the house. I said, listen to me. Everything you've ever dreamed of, everything you ever wanted, you got. So when you play the game on Sunday, you ain't got nothing to play for. Like you only had a small dream. You had a dream of a house and a car and to take care of your mama. All that is done. So what you playing for? What you playing for? You ain't playing for nothing. That's why they beating you. That's why they taking advantage. That's why you 6-6. You're not 6-6 because you can't make it to the playoff. You 6-6 because you lost that dog. All y'all playing with on Sunday is phenomenal skill. All y'all got that. But to go to the Super Bowl, you got to have that dog. And so do me a favor. Everybody stop right now and write something else down. And they all start writing their stuff down. And guess what? They won 4 out of 5 games. Here's what I told them. Every year I take a group of kids to the Super Bowl from the hood. So I took 20 kids to the Super Bowl. I said, we're going to be at the Super Bowl. I'm hoping y'all going to be there. I made it. They didn't make it. But they got to the NFC championship game. One of the last drives, my man had the interception, and he dropped the interception. Game would have been over with. 49ers would have been in the Super Bowl. Right? I wasn't mad at him. I told him we're going to try to do it again next year, but listen to me very closely. 2 things I told him. Phenomenal and phenomenal. Come on, phenomenal and phenomenal. You got to have both. Right? One more time. Phenomenal and phenomenal. The first one, who gives it to you? The second one, you got to work for it. God ain't giving that one to you. God don't give you dog. God can't wake up for you. God can't wake up for you. God can't make you say, when I don't feel, somebody asked me the other day, bro, they was like, what's discipline? I'm like, look, I got a GED. Let's keep it real. Discipline is doing what you said you were going to do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. That's all it is. When you first start playing this game, when you fell in love with it, you were just like, let's go, let's go, let's go. But then stuff going to happen. Right? And so why am I still good as a speaker? Because even when my wife got MS, I didn't lose that dog. When my wife got MS, I really went harder. Like, she ain't going to be able to work again. She don't need no more stress. Like, I got to dig deep now and go a little harder. When my mother-in-law was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and it spread through all her body, I actually went harder because I said, you going to live, but you ain't going to be able to work again. I actually went harder. And what I'm telling y'all, number 2 is this. You've got to discipline yourself, and you got to learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days you don't want to watch film. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There are going to be days you might not even want to play. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game. But listen to me very closely. Champions, if you want to make it to the next level, it's not about money. It's not about what you wear. You start separating the boys from the men. Listen to me. All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind through trials and tribulations. My son playing football broke his femur. Listen to me. I went harder because okay, write this down. Please write this one down. You've got to have private wins. You got to win in the dark before you can win in the light. Write that one down. So if you're going to separate yourself, growth is the greatest separator between men. As you grow, right? You see CP3, leadership, growth. You see the way he handles himself, growth. Like you see, like, I don't know if he know, but my wife, was watching, Tab, she became a vegan. She like, let's go. I'm like, all right, give me a couple months, boo. I feel you, boo, but you go first. you go first and you show me how it's done. I'm coming right behind you, but I just need, that's next level. That's saying that although I'm already great at what I do, I'm ready to dig deeper. I'm ready to do something. I'm ready to make another sacrifice. I'm ready to go somewhere everybody else ain't ready to go. Why? Because I'm ready to take it to the next level. So I'm asking, what sacrifices are you willing to make? Everybody want what you want. Everybody want to go to the league. Everybody want to take care of their family. Everybody want to be a celebrity or whatever you want to be, right? What are you willing to give up for it? What are you willing to sacrifice, right? On the road the other day, we hit Florida, the Gators. Right after that, we hit Ohio State football. Right after that, Minnesota Gophers. Then we hit the Vikings. And then I celebrated 32 years of marriage. Gave my wife 2 days at the Mall of America. She was like, you smart. You don't even want to spend time with me. You knew what to do. I'm like, go for it. I got you. I got to take a break. Like I don't have the stamina she had for shopping. Boom. Then I came right here on my way back, coming back for the Rams on Monday. You sacrifice, y'all. East Coast, West Coast. I'll do whatever it takes to keep this lifestyle. Does that make sense? So I want you to write in your phone right now, what are you willing to do to keep this lifestyle or go to the next level? Put that in your phone. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to do? What sacrifices are you willing to make? Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm saying that those of you, your bank account will look different if you stop being fake. God can't bless you while you fake. You would already be in a relationship if you stopped being fake. If you would have just told him who you are off the cuff, he would have accepted you. But you thought you had to be fake. And the fact that you was fake and he caught you in the lie, that's why he ain't with you. If you just would have told him off the cuff, this what you getting, he probably would have been like that. You still had that job if you hadn't lied and said you knew Excel. You just should have said you don't know Excel, but you need the job, though. You didn't went in on Excel. You didn't even know Excel. You done got fired. They gave your first week. They were like, all right, we got this Excel spreadsheet. You like Excel. On your resume, you was Excel'd out. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, most of us are so desperate. Most of us are crying to God. Most of us are saying we're not where we want to be. And God is saying you're not where you want to be because you fake. You a phony. You trying to pretend to people to be something you're not. That if you would just be honest, you'd be further along. Praise God. How many in this room for me before we get into the word? How many of you going to make a commitment that God, from this day forward, I want to feel comfortable being honest with you if I can't be honest with nobody else. As of today, just come on. I want to help you. I'm not here to preach. I want to help you. How many of you are just honest? Amen. Is that all right? I want you to be comfortable being honest. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to think about your life, and I want you to think about a part of your life that could be where you could be further along the road. Let's travel. Further along the road. Let's travel. I want you to think of a part of your life like, yo, man, I should be further than where I am right now. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And I want you to take ownership. Now, Jeremy gave me a new word today. Jeremy said extreme ownership. And that's what I want you to do. From this day forward, you're about to go to a whole nother level because you're about to take what? You about to take what? Come on, you about to take what? Listen to me. We connected to God, y'all. We don't have to be fake. We don't have to be fake anymore. I wanted to free you up. I remember when I used to be fake. I remember when, and I wasn't trying to be fake. I just felt I wasn't going to be accepted if I wasn't who they thought I was. Does that make sense? So I was what I thought you wanted me to be so that you could accept me. And then God says that you're trying to be something that you're not, so you're never going to be accepted. So just be whatever you are. Nobody's preaching to you to be something else. I'm telling you that when God created you, he had something in mind. We need to be that. I remember Trey Hayden used to tell me all the time, you're minor in your major in your minor. I used to be like, what in the world? He like, bruh, you need to be more. I didn't realize that God did take me to Oakwood, but he didn't want me to take the same path that many of my friends that were in theology. God wanted me to go back in the world. So I looked forward to my boy because it wasn't what? This is what God always had for me. But there was a time where I would be what Trey or Irv wanted me to be, because when I wasn't that, it didn't seem like they accepted me the same way they accepted me when I dressed the way they wanted me to dress, when I talked the way they wanted me to talk. And perhaps if I would have just been myself, they still would have accepted me. I just felt like they wouldn't accept me if I was myself. And so I pretended to be something I wasn't. And I wasted a whole bunch of time because I ended up coming back to myself. And we still cool. Irv was just at Michigan State. We still cool. So God is saying you don't have to be fake. I know you in your mother's innermost parts before you were created. Come on. Before you were born, I knew you. If you got a sexual addiction, just tell me. If you you an alcoholic, just tell me. If you can't read, just tell. God says when you was at Oakwood, you couldn't read. Why didn't you just tell me you couldn't read? Why was you faking it like you could read and you were skipping class, not because you wanted to skip, but you skipped on the days that they was going to make you read out loud. You should have just confessed you couldn't read and I could have helped you. I'm just telling you, some of you in this room, man, God got so much for you, and you can't get it because you're being fake. So I want you to think about an area. Go back to the definition. I want you to think about an area, according to the word forward, where you can go forward. The adverb, in the direction one is facing or traveling, toward the front. I press toward the mark of a higher. I press toward. Don't nobody press backwards. You don't press backwards, you press forward. And there are those of you in this room, because of what you've been through, you are quitting, you are giving up, you are surrendering. That is not God-like. That is not a characteristic of God. God didn't give you that. The enemy told you to be by yourself. The enemy told you to be lonely. Why? Because when he rejected God, he ran from God. Don't you run from God. Don't you run from your calling. Don't you run from your gift. Don't you run from the struggle. That struggle is meant to make you stronger. That struggle. Let me tell y'all something. I'm just being 1,000. When God gives you a gift and you in that gift, man, you could be so arrogant. I never knew I was going to be this. God is so smart that he knew I was going to be this. Oh, y'all missed what I just said. God knew when I was a high school dropout, when I was living in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash can, God never even saw me like that. God been saw me like this. Oh, y'all missed what I just said. I'm talking to somebody. God don't see you like your mistake. You see you like your mistake. God don't see you like that. God don't, listen to me. I got one homeboy who always want to remind me when I see him. He always want to remind me. Remember that car accident you got into when you were somewhere, being somewhere you were? I'm like, why does he always want to remind me? God don't even remind me of that. Every time I see my man, that's all he want to talk about. But I get it though, because I'm walking in my gift. I guess that's offend you. So you got to try to always remind me of the worst part of my life because you don't want to accept the great part of my life. I'm not mad at you, bruh. But God didn't see me like that. God saw me as this. And because God saw me like this, he allowed that to happen because God knew if nothing ever happened to me and I just got this, that I would be arrogant. But some of the mistakes I made is what made me humble. Some of the mistakes I made is why I connect to other people. It ain't the PhD that make me humble. It ain't the New York Times bestseller that make me humble. It's the stuff that I got into that God had to come and get me out himself.